Good evening. It's election week. We're getting ready to go. 1 week from tonight, the election takes place. Early voting is Saturday. If you're going to vote early, you got tomorrow from 10 to 6 and 9 to 12 Saturday morning. I encourage you to do so. Turnout's been heavy for early voting, much heavier than 22, more like 18, a little better. And we have a lot of races. And today we're going to have our final show. We've had about 6 or 7 guests on, Democrats and Republicans. And today we're going to talk to Chad McNabb, who is the commissioner from Claxton, where there's a lot of activity going on. And to be fair, disclaimer, he was one of the originals, if not the original host of this show, and he knows a lot about it. And we're going to talk about what's going on in his district, because Claxton School, there's a lot going on, and some of the overall activities. He didn't bring any notes. He must be ready. So that's about all I got to start the show. We've got 8 districts in play for new commissioners or old commissioners or whatever kind of commissioners. Welcome, Mr. McNabb. You've been working hard.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Glad to be back. Feels like coming home here. So.
Yeah, it is. It's a good place. Brad's still here, did I tell you that?
Yeah, I see him right there. Yeah. Not much has changed.
No, not much, except for this beautiful picture back here.
Much nicer sets than we had back in the day, yeah.
Well, you were holding us back. But true, right, man? So here is our buddy back here, Saber Beauchamp. One of your best friend, no question, and my wife, and she's done a great job. I think, I just think that she's very popular, and I think she'll do well. And you? You're going hard work at it. You got a long-time incumbent as an independent, and you've got another Republican running. So how things feel so far?
It's been great. We've been out on the campaign trail, out knocking doors last night. The response has just been very, very positive. This is a lot of work. It's a lot on the candidates.
Too long. I'm on the state. I'm an advisor to a lot of people in Tennessee politically, and I'm just telling you, 14 days is ridiculous. Can we not do it in 7 or 10? I mean, people are tired.
It's a lot on the candidates. It's a lot on the candidates' families as well. A lot of time away from home. So, but when you get out and you get to meet people and talk to them, and it's just a jolt of energy when you get to talk to people and you have a good conversation out there knocking doors. So, keeps you going. But I think we're all ready. We've reached the point where we're all ready for it to wrap up, one way or the other.
I've always said that. That's right. Everybody says, win or lose, I'm ready to go home. Yeah, that's it. But, I mean, we have a lot of incumbent, strong legislators, and it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I should say that really the Oak Ridge districts are the competitive districts, along with Claxton, which has 3 possible winners. But Oak Ridge is very competitive because it's a very politically identical race. In other words, we have a full slate. I believe we have a full slate in 6 and 7.
Yeah.
And 8 has 1 independent and 2 Republicans. I just look in the other areas, we talk about 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just heavy Republican. The votes are like 3 or 4 to 1. It's going to be hard for anybody that's not a Republican to survive in those areas. But like District 7, which is Pine Valley, Glenwood, Highland View, in those areas, it's about 52, 53% Democrat. Still, it's gone down some over the last 8 years, but it's just a big area. And we have to give the Dems credit. I mean, they're very organized, wouldn't you say?
They are. They're doing a good job of getting their voters out to the polls. We've seen kind of their ground game. They're definitely fighting, and the Republicans have to step up and match the ground game.
I think the Republicans are trying, and I think they've done a good job of that. Yeah. For the most part, Republicans have been out working, especially our Republican candidates that we're close to, like Aaron Wells and Saber Beauchamp,
Gerald Cook,
Chad. Gerald's a good guy.
Yeah,
I'm really impressed with how hard he's worked.
Oh, he's done it. I mean, we've got a really great slate of candidates across the board of the Republican Party this year. A lot of talent. Really hoping for some great results next Thursday to continue to move the commission forward, move our party forward. So, absolutely.
Yeah, and you get so wrapped up in it when it's family members and friends. It's just there's not an acceptable. It's just hard. Anyway,
yeah.
So what's going on in commission? What do we need to talk about so people understand what these commissioners have got? Your district seems to be the most controversial at this point. I mean, yeah, and you've been in there almost a year. The whole school thing seems to be we've got a deal, we don't have a deal, TVA, Clark Centers. So where are we at in all that?
As far as the sale of
Everything
Claxton
for every
Okay.
square foot.
So there's a lot going on in District 1. It's a really exciting time in District 1, is the thing. I mean, there's so much promise and opportunity there. But as far as the Claxton School, what's going on is we have a $2 million new school that's opening up in 2027.
So that's one more school year in the old building, then we move.
That's right. And that school was actually able to be paid for without raising property taxes, which is
amazing,
almost
yeah.
unheard of.
That's correct.
But it's a modern, state-of-the-art school, STEM programs. I mean, this is just top-notch, opening up. And
What
so we're
grades?
so excited. So that'll be
One to eight?
K through 5.
Okay,
is my
it's an
understanding.
elementary school. Okay.
Yes, Claxton Elementary. And it was well overdue. The current school there now had been there for.
It's been a voting center since I was helping in the 80s.
Yes, so it's been there
a while.
forever, had a lot of problems, but now the original plan that was put into place and voted on by commission in 2023 was to, for the school department to take a $20 million USDA loan,
Okay.
and then they had other things they were going to do to make up the difference, one of those being the sale of the old school property.
Right.
They have to get roughly around $4 million, this is all public, it's been in the meetings, to pay back that portion of the loan that they're counting on. What we've been doing, we formed a task force to try to get public input as far as what they would like to see go in the old place. Now, that property is the focal point of Claxton. Everyone's seen it. It's on 2 major roadways there. And of course, Edgemore Road, which we can talk about, is going to be widened to a 4-way. TDOT's put that on their project list. That's supposed to happen in 2029. It's been talked about for a long time.
Yeah.
But that property is going to be even more valuable if you get it up to a 4-way. So we've got to get this right. I mean, you don't get a piece of property like Claxton Elementary there. It's a really sort of once in a lifetime property. So we got to treat it like that. As far as
So it's
making
really
sure
not the
sale goes through.
building, it's the property.
So the building most likely
Will
probably be knocked down is what I've heard. I mean,
Raised,
it would be up to who buys it, but that's more than likely what's going to happen.
But we think we can get $4 million out of all of that.
That's what's rough. It's roughly the numbers that are being thrown around. It depends. Bear Stevenson told us, or task force, you want to get 4 different numbers, send 4 different appraisers out there. So
Yeah.
really the only comparables are that Weigel's and the oil change valvoline shop that just opened up. Those are really the only comparables as far as close by, as far as property recently sold. We're all just guessing, but it is a massive, it's roughly around 18 acres on 2 major roadways. So someone's going to want it. Now, what the community has been giving us input in these task forces, things they'd rather see there than not. Now, this property does
But your
set-
choices should be limited to what generates revenue.
Well, what people are afraid of, or that something undesirable would go there. Now, there is a church, there is a school going to be within a mile, so that's going to take care of a lot of alcohol sales or vape store, things like that. That should take care of that. So, but we're all hoping. Look, everyone, regardless of their opinion, I mean, how they frame it, I think everyone just wants the best thing for the community. We'd love to see something prosperous for the community as far as some of the industry or retail or you name it. We'd love to have something that benefits us the most. That's what everyone's going for.
Well, I think a retail center, some kind of square kind of mall thing where somebody can make some money on leasing property about different things could generate enough to get your money that you need. I just don't know. That would help the community if you had a clothing store, if you had other things, et cetera, et cetera. I just think there's been a lot of controversy and debate over what's the application for that school.
Well, it's like I said, I'm trying to focus on the positive as far as it's
Sure.
an exciting time to have a brand new modern school going right there, to have the lanes widened to a 4-way.
That is a lot.
It's going to really, in 20 years, I don't know that it'll even look the same. And the challenge is, I've been using this term on the campaign trail, I really like it, responsible development. I mean, you want growth, you want progress, you want the best things, the most opportunities for your citizens, but in the challenge, just making sure that you don't lose your identity in the process. No one wants,
What is Claxton's identity?
Claxton's got a very, very rich history of a proud community right there.
It's always been a large unincorporated community.
Absolutely.
6,000 people.
Very large. We got a great history with youth sports, which is something
That's
I
true.
really want to get going again, which I'd love to talk about that. But it's just a very, very proud people that I am honored to represent. And, that's the thing. We do want progress. We do want more opportunity, but we want to, preserve our community and make sure it doesn't turn into something we don't recognize.
Tell me, the TVA sale of the land, that's a different issue altogether, is it not? Well, in the sense that TVA, if you go down Edgemore Road, on the side over there where the smokestack was, as I call it, and the towers were, and you got the playground and some of the stuff that TVA had done, what happened in all that?
You're talking about the Kids Palace playground that was...
I actually had community service people build that thing.
Yeah.
But I saw him the other night in Kume, one of the guys that ran the bulldozers. But what's the controversy?
So the story on that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
give me the story.
so Kids Palace Playground was just an awesome story, and you remember it from the 90s where the community really came together, built that structure. It was just, how often do you see that where a whole community comes together, chips in, and builds something awesome? Once it came up, they asked it to go into the Anderson County Park System. So the Anderson County did agree to maintain it. I think this is the early 2000s with Mayor
That's about
Lynch.
right.
You were probably there.
Yeah, I was there.
So it became part of the Anderson County Park System.
25 years ago.
Yeah. Now, I went and read all the history on the documents. The park was estimated to have roughly around a 25-year lifespan. It was starting to have some issues just due to age. And the Anderson County Conservation Board voted to take it out of the park system. Of course, that was TVA land.
Sure.
TVA wanted their land back. They own the land. So a decision was made by the Conservation Board to, tear it down and build a new one somewhere. Now, we can talk about where the new one's potentially going to go, but that's what happened. It was a painful optics for the community to see it tore down. I wrote a letter to TVA asking them to allow it to stay open while we build the new one. I saw no harm in keeping it open another 6 months, a year, whatever it would take. Come to find out it's going to be maybe longer than that, but I thought it was a reasonable position to let it stay open while we build another one. They didn't see it that way. Now, I do want to say TVA has been a very good partner to our community. At the same time, they did donate, it has to be said, $250,000 to the construction of a new park. So it's not just like they tore the park down and said good luck. I mean, they wrote a $250,000 check. They've been good partners. But it was a painful time that happened in December. But again, just trying to focus on the positive. I think we're going to have a wonderful new park. And I should say, when we did a survey,
Where's that park going to go?
Well, we'll get to that. But one other thing on Kids Palace. We did do a survey as far as what people would like to see at the new park. We had hundreds of responses. And one of the number one things that people voted for, and it's what I voted for, was a memorial for the families that helped build Kids Palace at the new park. So there will be some remembrance of that story, which is, I'm sentimental. I like that.
Yeah, but we need to build a park.
Sure.
That's all fine. But we need to build a park where kids can have access and it'll be
Right,
good.
right.
That'll be fun.
So the Conservation Board is looking at building.
But
the
you
new
can't
park.
use that area because TVA's.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. It seems so. So the idea being kicked around that seems to have the most legs right now most of this work is going through the Conservation Board is putting the park at the site of the new Claxton School, which is going to be opening in 2027. Like I said, the school has, I think, informally, offered a piece of land that they own. The pros of that is, they already own it. We're not having to go out and buy a piece of property. It is technically still in the Claxton community. Now, there are some challenges with that, and I've asked some tough questions on that because it's you can see some challenges of a public park being on school property.
Yeah.
There's security issues, there's things like that. So we've really got to drill down on those issues and get good answers because, if you have it on school property, if there's an issue there, I don't want the SRO leaving the school unattended to go deal with that. What happens if, it starts becoming a hotbed of criminal activity? The schools are going to want that gone. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm saying we've got to get some assurances. We've got to get logistics and security worked out. I think there's a way to do it, but it's going to be a lot of work. But I am confident that at the end of the process, there will be a beautiful park for the people of Claxton. Type 1 Energy also donated, I believe $50,000. So up to $300,000.
So that's our fusion company that's
Correct.
within there.
Been a great partner to the community. Came in, did an open house. It was so cool back in May. You see those open houses on a Saturday morning. It was beautiful. I thought most people would be like at a ballpark or something. It was standing room only. We didn't have enough room almost at the community center for all the people that had entrance. So they came right into the community, gave a huge donation, open house, answered tough questions. So that's what you want to see.
Before we move to a break, Tell me what the deal is with the Optimist Club building or the church or whatever you want to call it. That's been a little bit controversial.
So the Optimist Club building is sets on TVA property as well. I did check with TVA because Commissioner Wandell was very instrumental in getting a new roof put on the Optimist Club, which was, I believe, also a donation from Type 1. I'm pretty sure it was Type 1 Energy helped donate money to put the roof on there. And we wanted to make sure before we put a new roof on, hey, you're going to take this. And I was told that there's nothing in their plans anytime soon to do that, because that would have been terrible to put all that work in, get a donation and do it. So as far as I know, the baseball fields, the Optimist Club, are not in any part of TVA's growth plan. They do those plans, Alan, as like 3-5 years out.
They'll be like, that would be like a $1 lease or whatever, and they'd keep the land. And
I think that's right. And again, I was told no plans for that, no plans for the baseball field in the immediate future.
But they're going to retain ownership of that in case they do change their
Well,
mind.
TVA usually doesn't give up any land. They acquire more and more.
Federal
so,
has to do that.
Yeah. So.
Okay, let's take a break. We're getting it done. I got 2 words in. Chad had all the answers. All right, let's take a break.
American competitiveness runs on innovation, and ORNL helps deliver it. We accelerate the path from research to real-world applications, working with industry to reduce costs, boost efficiency, and bring next-generation technologies to market. It's ORNL science that strengthens the economy and builds opportunity across the nation.
From Oak Ridge, Tennessee, IB3 Global Solutions conducts operations around the world to enhance the U.S. national security posture and minimize radiological and nuclear threats. IB3 Global Solutions. Mission first.
This is Joe Heckman, President of Waste Management at Energy Solutions. Nuclear power is on the rise. Energy Solutions is part of this transition and part of the solution, delivering comprehensive services and assets that support the entire nuclear life cycle. Energy Solutions is protecting and preserving the environment for generations to come.
East Tennessee families deserve a state representative who puts people first. Kelly McCampbell is focused on the priorities that matter: affordable housing, accessible healthcare, great schools, higher wages, and quality childcare. Kelly is ready to bring practical solutions and a strong voice for working families to Nashville. Learn more at kellymccampbell.com. Vote Kelly McCampbell for Tennessee State House. Paid for by Kelly McCampbell for Tennessee State House. Jennifer McCampbell, Treasurer.
At Navarro, we partner with our clients to advance technologies and deliver effective solutions for complex challenges in the nuclear, environmental, and clean energy fields.
America runs on power, and for nuclear power, we need enriched uranium, but almost all of it comes from overseas. In 2019, the Trump administration took action, working with Centrus to build the first new American-owned uranium enrichment plant in 70 years. And now, Centrus is ready to expand to meet our nuclear power and military needs, free from dependence on foreign suppliers. Centrus, American technology built by American workers.
When it comes to protecting Republican values, experience matters. Ron Barry has spent years serving our communities and standing up for conservative principles that make Tennessee strong. Now, Ron Barry is asking for your vote for the Republican Party State Executive Committee, representing the 12th Senatorial District. A proven conservative, dedicated leadership, a strong voice for our party and our future. On Election Day, vote Ron Barry for State Executive Committee, paid for by the candidate.
Feeling overwhelmed with your business finances? At P&L Business Services, we handle all your bookkeeping, payroll, and tax needs. From federal tax returns to QuickBooks training, we've got you covered. With over 25 years of experience, we provide customized packages to fit your business. Focus on what you love most, building your business. Let us take care of the rest. Call 865-294-4792. P&L Business Services, empowering you to grow your business.
Welcome back to Between the Lines. We're talking to Chad McNabb, Anderson County Commissioner for District 1. Chad, tell us, what is District 1?
So District 1 incorporates the Brushy Valley, Bull Run, and Claxton communities.
Bull Run a community?
It's known as one, yeah, and it's for the longest time, District 1 was incorporated Claxton and South Clinton.
I remember
for
that.
many years,
Yeah,
and
many years.
And Brushy Valley was actually part of District 3, and then they redrew on the
Where's
lines.
Brushy Valley?
Brushy Valley is Mountain View Road. It is one of the most Brushy Valley Road.
How do
is
I
one of
get
the
there
most-
from Clinton? I drive down?
Yeah, you would take East Wolf Valley, go down, and
Okay.
Mountain View Road. It's one of the most beautiful areas. I have loved spending
Is that
time
where the
up there.
Blue Sky boats or whatever
Yeah,
that precinct is?
yes, and then of course Mountain View Park up there, and just some of the most beautiful land in Anderson County, and wonderful people. So
That's
we're
part of your district.
It is, yeah. So it's
You come back into Claxton, it's pretty defined. We know Claxton.
yeah.
And then what they did was they got big enough that somewhere down that road, somewhere down Edgemore, they cut the line and
Yeah.
made everything that side of Edgemore towards Bull Run plant.
so attractive. Oak Ridge tried to annex us 20 years ago. If you remember
We were
that.
just trying to help you. We were trying to help you.
No thanks.
I understand. Let's go on the record. Chad McNabb wants to keep him independent, baby.
Yeah.
I got it. All right. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your work on commission. What committees do you serve on presently?
Yes, sir.
That my wife does, and I'm going to come back with that. Go
Oh
ahead.
gosh, she's got about I think 47 committees.
I'm listening. I ain't any room for anything else.
Yeah, I don't have as many. I'm on a budget committee. I'm on the audit committee, and I am also on the Claxton task force for the sale of the old
usually
land. So
a smart veteran.
I'm on 3. Yeah,
She's on those 3 too, though, right? Yeah.
I think Sabe's on every committee pretty much. So she's
so smart and so prepared.
she is a great commissioner.
Yeah,
and
that's one you got to keep if you can.
Absolutely. But no, it's budget committee has been very challenging. It's my first year on to kind of be thrown into the fire. Some of the other commissioners have made comments. This is the most, the toughest budget season we've been through in a very long time. I'm sure you were through some tough ones in your day, but this
We didn't have any
has
money.
been a tough one.
We didn't have
to-
internet tax on it. We didn't have
Yeah.
any money.
Yeah.
We would fight over $8,000 in the schools. We needed $20 million to $30 million.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah,
The
so this
general
is-
fund was the whipping boy of the school system.
It's been a tough one. I've learned a lot. I've enjoyed my work there, but it has been a tough one. It has been a tough one to try to, give everyone what they need within reason.
The schools, and you're a supporter of the schools, and I think everybody is. But I mean, bottom line is, with vouchers, which I oppose, only because they help the rich kids, not the poor kids. But I mean, how much are the schools decreasing? If they're losing students, do they need as much money? I know
Well-
there's commissioners have talked to me, had lunch one day, who think that they could give back some of that money. But I don't know.
That's an ongoing conversation the budget committee's been having with Dr. Parrott. He has been at all the meetings. He has answered all the questions. I know he's been on your show.
Yeah, he did a good
answered-
job.
He'll answer any question you got. I think it's different from district to district as far as the viewpoint on it. Obviously, Oak Ridge schools or city schools, they don't have much of a dog in the fight at Clinton City
Anybody
schools
wants
as well.
tuition information, I can get it to you. If you want to come to Oak Ridge and receive proper education.
But as far as someone representing the county and county schools, we, again, like I mentioned, we have that $31 million school that's being built. Not included in that budget I've found out is furniture, it's playground equipment. There's a lot of things that we're going to be asking. We're going to be asking the schools to take on. So I have opposed cuts to the school system right now because, again, I'm thinking of what's best for my district.
Yep.
The construction of that, I don't want it to negatively
Smart,
impact it. I want
smart.
it to come to fruition. So, but there are commissioners asking a lot of tough questions, and we'll see how it plays out.
Interesting. I think that's good. And you think the schools overall are being managed pretty well?
I think that they're doing a good job. If you go having young kids in the school systems, I have a 13-year-old and a soon-to-be 8-year-old next week. Happy birthday, Adeline. Yes. Being in the schools, you see firsthand the hard work that the teachers are putting in. You see Claxton is known for, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. It's incredible, some of the job fairs and everything they put on there. I'm in the schools. My wife, Terry, we're in the schools a lot. So we see firsthand.
Well, she's worked there.
She has. So it's like, we see firsthand, what's going on there. And it's hard to vote to make any type of cut when you're on the ground and you're seeing just the tireless effort the teachers put in there.
And I've always argued this for the sheriff's department and the schools. It's a unique geography. I mean, you look at how do you cover New River and Norwood and all these different areas with the sheriff's budget that is kind of always under the scope. But the problem is, it's, now the argument back is you don't have Clinton, you don't have Oak Ridge and stuff, but it's still a geographical nightmare trying to get out to everywhere.
Well, I think
and same for the schools.
Well,
I mean, I can remember when Norwood didn't have books, but some people did, and we were trying to encourage things to go on, but they couldn't get all the books they needed, and they had kids had to give money and stuff. Well, that shouldn't be it shouldn't have that.
No, it shouldn't. And I remember back in
easier now with the iPads and everything.
Oh, well, we've come a long way. And I remember like in the early 2000s, North Clinton had like issues with the roof. I mean, it was caving in. There was schools with real structural issues with bad buildings. We've come a long way
Clinton
on a lot of that.
Roof.
Yeah,
I mean, every year it was something.
It was something. So I mean, we've come a long way. The county's done a good job of trying to maintain our schools, fund our schools. So
yeah.
I like the direction it's going. Now the sheriff, you brought that up. That's been a big issue before the budget committee.
Salaries, yeah.
Yes, and I think Sheriff Barker is
Everybody's
doing a fantastic
trying to compete
job.
for these limited number of people.
It's a small pool. And what we saw at the time was a blessing with a lot of that COVID relief money, but it was one time it's dried up, and now you were funding things with it, and that pot of money's gone. So,
you would think that with the energy growth that we've had, and some of that's like you say at Claxton, and some of it's effort, and all these people who come and work and expose should help our tax base. I mean, not just Oak Ridge, but here too. So, I think it's interesting. And 3 or 4 years ago, the internet taxes started really getting bigger. I mean, it was like 400,000 or 500,000 a year.
Huge. Yeah.
So that's revenue we never had before.
Yeah.
So I think there's opportunities for things. Where is the undesignated fund balance at this point? It was 11 million, and it got down to 5 million. Where is that number at? Because I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, I think roughly around 11 million.
Still?
Approximately.
Is that all funds or designated?
I think that's just the general fund, the undesignated fund.
I guess totally wasn't that high.
That's,
maybe.
We're not in terrible financial shape. It's, county government math, you're an expert at it. You did it for a long time. It's different than regular math when you're doing your budget at home.
That's right.
You have things like rollover money, one-time money. You have capital funds. You have general funds. And
it's hard for departments to understand it, because here's the point. If I pull $1 million out of that and I use it for salaries or something else, how am I going to pay it next year? See, that's the problem, folks. When you pull money out of savings, you don't have any income generating to replace that money. So you have to be careful and not use established money for reoccurring expenses, because that money doesn't reoccur. That revenue doesn't reoccur.
Exactly, and that's something that the finance department is constantly trying to, remind commission of. Hey, you can't do this, and they do a great job. I mean, that's a tough job trying to, give advice on the budget to 16 different commissioners with different ideas, different pet projects. So it's they do.
It's easy in our day. We'll do whatever you tell us to do, Gail. Gail Cook is probably one of the best budget directors of all time in any county.
Yeah, well. We have, Robbie Holbrook now. He does a
Robbie does a great job. She trained him. I mean, he was there before her, but she put in implements and did stuff. Chris did a decent job.
Yeah.
And so it's all good. I mean, that part of it's good, but you still got to have the revenue. And so I don't know how. I'm not around anymore. My wife certainly knows a lot about it and does a lot of research. She is the most prepared person at a meeting I've ever seen.
Unreal.
I mean, she prepares, spends time, does it. Nobody did it like that back in the old days. So
no,
just
come
never
a long way on
happened.
that too.
Yeah, she's got folders full. Yeah. She knows, she's organized, and that's impressive. And I don't know, Mondays are tough, always tough in commission type stuff. We always waited till Rex and I, we just got through the night and said, see you next month. That's what we
Well,
did.
it makes for a long day. I mean, the meetings start at 6:30. I mean, it goes sometimes till 9:30, 10. I mean, you know, it
The
makes for a
biggest
long
problem is
day.
Operations Committee. It always was. They want to talk, now let's talk about the bridge that goes over the creek and blah, 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 and how are we going to fund that? And then there's 18 ideas. And I'm thinking, in the old days, I'd say, this is a $20,000 bridge. Somebody give them a check and let's get moving, you know. But that's me. I'm not real good at that, you know.
Well.
I don't have a lot of patience for that kind of stuff. But anyway, if the commission as a whole, what would you like to see change?
Well, yeah, I think we're going to find out next week. You know, as far as we are going to have some new commissioners. Dr. Bob Smallridge is retiring. He's just a very, very good commissioner from Oak Ridge. Just an absolute gentleman, very, very smart. So I'm going to hate to see Dr. Smallridge go, but he'll be retiring. Jerry White also going to be retiring. He was a commissioner for many, many years.
Josh
Great
is
man.
out. He ran for mayor.
Josh Anderson's giving up his seat. So there's 3 new commissioners that we know we're going to have right away. You'll assume you'll have
Probably
a few more.
4 or 5, yeah.
So we're going to see. It'll be a new class. I hope to be among them.
Yeah,
we'll find out.
You get your picture made and everything in the new class, won't you?
But we'll see. I mean, as far as what I'd like to see change, I think the one thing that we could make an improvement on is maybe you do see some commissioners bringing in these sort of state issues, national issues that are put on the agenda to debate, things that really
Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, legislature issues that like I know a couple months ago it was asking us to write a letter on something about the vouchers. Well, I mean, that's state law now. That's the session had already ended. There was no time to even get it there. So I would like to see us focus a little less on some of those issues that are already state law, that are issues you need to contact your legislature about, as opposed to wasting time. It's a business meeting. It's supposed to be, you know, a limited scope of what we're supposed to take up. So, I mean, that's a very meager gripe to have. But if I had to think of something, let's focus. Let's keep it local.
That's a great answer. And when we come back, I want to talk about some of the controversial issues we had. You don't have to make any judgmental calls, but it takes up so much time. Libraries would be my top dog. Okay, Chandler, let's go to break. Chad McNabb will be right back.
American competitiveness runs on innovation, and ORNL helps deliver it. We accelerate the path from research to real-world applications, working with industry to reduce costs, boost efficiency, and bring next-generation technologies to market. It's ORNL science that strengthens the economy and builds opportunity across the nation.
From Oak Ridge, Tennessee, IB3 Global Solutions conducts operations around the world to enhance the U.S. national security posture and minimize radiological and nuclear threats. IB3 Global Solutions. Mission first.
This is Joe Heckman, President of Waste Management at Energy Solutions. Nuclear power is on the rise. Energy Solutions is part of this transition and part of the solution, delivering comprehensive services and assets that support the entire nuclear life cycle. Energy Solutions is protecting and preserving the environment for generations to come.
East Tennessee families deserve a state representative who puts people first. Kelly McCampbell is focused on the priorities that matter: affordable housing, accessible healthcare, great schools, higher wages, and quality childcare. Kelly is ready to bring practical solutions and a strong voice for working families to Nashville. Learn more at kellymccampbell.com. Vote Kelly McCampbell for Tennessee State House. Paid for by Kelly McCampbell for Tennessee State House. Jennifer McCampbell, Treasurer.
At Navarro, we partner with our clients to advance technologies and deliver effective solutions for complex challenges in the nuclear, environmental, and clean energy fields.
America runs on power, and for nuclear power, we need enriched uranium, but almost all of it comes from overseas. In 2019, the Trump administration took action, working with Centrus to build the first new American-owned uranium enrichment plant in 70 years. And now, Centrus is ready to expand to meet our nuclear power and military needs, free from dependence on foreign suppliers. Centrus, American technology built by American workers.
When it comes to protecting Republican values, experience matters. Ron Barry has spent years serving our communities and standing up for conservative principles that make Tennessee strong. Now, Ron Barry is asking for your vote for the Republican Party State Executive Committee, representing the 12th Senatorial District. A proven conservative, dedicated leadership, a strong voice for our party and our future. On Election Day, vote Ron Barry for State Executive Committee, paid for by the candidate.
Feeling overwhelmed with your business finances? At P&L Business Services, we handle all your bookkeeping, payroll, and tax needs. From federal tax returns to QuickBooks training, we've got you covered. With over 25 years of experience, we provide customized packages to fit your business. Focus on what you love most, building your business. Let us take care of the rest. Call 865-294-4792. P&L Business Services, empowering you to grow your business.
Okay, welcome back. We're talking to Chad McNabb about everything commission, and it's. I lived in that world for a long time, and I understand it. But let's talk about meetings being held up by public commentary on issues that you really don't have a lot to do with, and that's like books and libraries and things of that nature. And my problem is, I think initially it was a very valid issue that we need to keep some of that trash out of our kids' libraries. But it seems to keep dragging on. Oh, here's this book. It's called Tom Sawyer, or something. That's when it gets too far for me. I mean, and nobody wants that. No one wants that gender alternative books in our kids' library. I don't want them. I want them out. But let's get them out and let's move on. And I just think some of those things are. It's become a place for. What other issue would you say? I mean, it's become a place for everything. In the old days, for us, it was guns in the courthouse. Today it's something else, so I don't know.
Yeah, you do see these issues pop up every 3 or 4 years, and they take a lot of time, a lot of passion on both sides. We do have a library board, county library board. Shane Val, Commissioner Val, chairs that. He has the patience of Job up there. He's done a really, really good job setting decorum, trying to keep it. I watched their meeting the other night. I was very impressed with Chairman Val as far as. Just the passion on both sides to try to keep some level of decorum. He's done a very good job of that. As far as the issue of the books, I mean, I don't think it's all that complicated. I'm thinking things pretty simple-minded, I suppose, but it's to me, it's not that complicated. You have now the issue that people really kind of gloss over sometimes these are taxpayer funds that are paying for these books. It's not a private library. It's not books you can buy at home. These are taxpayer funded.
So everybody has a right
libraries.
to input. That's right.
They have a right to input, but also the taxpayer has a right to input as far as what you. Yeah, exactly. And the other side has input what they'd like to see there. But
I just want it to be accurate. Here's what's really there. Here's where they are in the library. Do you need permission for this?
Right.
I don't think 6-year-olds can go in and check those books out. I just don't say it.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, I think that it's not that complicated. If there are books that are offensive, that I think that some of the material I saw clearly are, either take them out of the library, or if the library board decides.
It's sexual education for pre-adolescent people. It's not the library of school's business. That stuff doesn't need to be in there.
Exactly. And if the library, and those decisions are up to the library board. If the library board deems the book that it can be there, it needs to be in a separate section to where young people can't get it. I think almost everyone of every party agrees you need to protect your children.
Yeah, and you know what somebody told me, one of the top conservative advocates in this country, he said, They can get anything they want in 5 minutes right here.
Yeah.
The library may be the safest place to hide the dang things. That's what he said.
Someone told me if you want to, hide something, put it in the library.
That's right.
'Cause, so many. Unfortunately, you don't see a lot of. You don't see as many people reading an old-fashioned book these days. They're reading on their phone. I don't know if people are reading more or less, but they're not reading the. I do, but not you don't.
And most
see.
of what we're talking about stick figures and education, and they feel like I don't know any other term, but to say the woke generation, they feel like they have the right to instruct their kids in multiple gender stuff and everything, et cetera, et cetera. Then you've got the other side. This is a Christian nation. We have morals, et cetera, et cetera. So I get it, and I tend to side with the Christian traditionalists.
Absolutely, and let me just make it even really simpler. I mean, without all this gender stuff and all that, let's just not, regardless of sexual orientation, let's just not sexualize children.
They don't need to be in the discussion.
They don't need to be in the discussion at all. So
that's right.
Regardless of your lifestyle choice, that's not what this is about. It's just let's just keep.
You can have that on
away.
your own. That's right.
Yeah. So it's
study.
But anyway, it has been a pretty fiery debate. All that is going through the library board. Their meetings are now on YouTube. People can watch it for themselves.
So much
pretty
hate.
shocking.
So much hate.
It
it brings so much hate to the meetings. There's so much hate.
And I think that's
people have been told by citizens, you're going to go to hell. I have an intern, honest to God, who stood up in her high school class, senior in high school, graduating, stood up and went out, and I only seen him, went out to a school system when they were having a big debate in front of the school board. And this man, I'm guessing 50-ish, asked her to step out in the hall to talk about it. She stepped out in the hall, and he spit on her.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I hope she called the police.
I don't think so. She's not made that.
I mean, because that is assault.
She's more. I know, but she's more of a punch him in the mouth kind of kid. She's kind of like Saber, you know what I mean? Stands her ground.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been good if someone spit on Saber. I promise you that.
Ooh, can you imagine with that?
That's the kind of thing.
I don't even cough in the same room. You know what I mean?
Me either. But no, that's the kind of thing that let's. Everyone's free to their opinion. Let's have a civil, rational debate
needs to be civil. I don't
about these issues.
There's enough real problems to worry about. I'm trying to address the point of commission meetings get longer, but too many issues being brought up that aren't really issues. Go to the library board and say, I'd like to appoint somebody else. And
commission's done a really good job, I think, on trying to limit some of.
I think that's
trying to keep it on track as far as. Tyler Mays, when he was chairman, instituted some new rules with commission approval where now citizens still have the absolute right to speak, and that's very important, getting feedback.
You gotta have certification.
But what we'll do now is if there's an issue involving like water to a community, like the New River issue as far as getting water to that community, if you have 15 people there to speak on that and they're all for it.
Pick three.
Chairman Palmer now has been saying, hey, look, who here is for this? You'll see 15 hands up. Can you all designate a couple
or submit
of
emails, whatever you want to do? But give
y'all get together and pick 2 or 3 people to speak for you, so we don't sit there.
Rex and I campaigned on it, and we ended up running water up Val Mountain. We still didn't have 100 people, but had the opportunity for campgrounds and other things. And I presume that it's done well in those 25 years, or at least been good. But it's the same thing. If you got 2 houses and a barn, we can't spend $1 million.
It's challenging. They're applying for a grant, it looks like, with Robert Campbell and Associates has been great to come into commission and look at that. He did. And he's done that at no cost to the county so far. And they've got a plan. I really hope it works out for that community.
CDBG will not give you money that does not add up dollar-wise.
There's some challenges there. And Mr. Campbell was, very transparent about all that. But it is something.
I'm for anything the county doesn't have to put money into.
Sure, and it could be
or a prorated amount. If there's this many citizens impacted, we're giving you $70,000. If there's this many citizens, we'll commit $240,000. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You just can't. You got to be careful with how you handle it.
Well,
everybody will be out there.
Luckily, the conversation has been pretty in depth and nuanced, and they're taking all that into consideration. So I'm rooting for the community up there. Great people. I hope it works out. We'll see. There are some challenges. You get into who's going to maintain it. That's another thing. So I mean, if you can build it, then that's one thing. But who's going to maintain all that? And
Marion Saber, and being a native, I got to see a lot. But if they could clean that creek up and get some water running through it, it's already working because of the mountain, the riding the ATVs and stuff. They're getting lots of people up there, but that place could be a big resort. It's beautiful, but there's mud. And there's obligations to the water. I mean, opposition to the water running down, or some natural impediments and stuff. I don't know. I think it's a beautiful place, and I'd like to see it do
It
well.
is. It is.
But putting 500 people in there's probably not what they want, or 5,000 or whatever.
Well,
but they'll be glad to rent you something for 200 a night.
Oh,
Anybody
I think
would,
they're doing
right?
well. I mean,
Scotty's got it rolling up there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so. They're good people. They're just good people.
absolutely.
I mean, they hold you to your word, and I think but that's true in a lot of different county areas around us. I think that's true out of Lake City parks and stuff like that.
Well, Shane Val said in one of our meetings, I bring up Shane a lot tonight, but if you make a friend from New River, you got a friend for life. If you make an enemy from New River, you got an enemy for life. So I think that's pretty well sums it up. And we've enjoyed getting to speak with that community. And again, I'm rooting
First,
for them.
they've been very good to me. Every time I see them, they're very nice. I haven't been up in a while, but I remember the first time Sabre took me up there, and I called a couple of my friends that were pretty serious people, and I said, if you don't hear from me in 2 hours, you bring the boys, bring everybody. I didn't know the reputation. So we always laugh about that.
Yeah.
But wonderful people. They've all been so nice to me and so good. And,
Yes,
and
yes.
I really like them. But
Yeah, rooting for them.
But you got to make it a fair playing field on all that.
Sure.
What about Lake City? I mean, I can't get a feel for it. Tim's tried for years, and I think they're set to go back in. But I think we got. I mean, you got to develop those interstate exits. We got to figure out a way to get that done. I thought the whole Rocky Top thing was a good attempt, but it ended up slowing everything down and holding it back. Well, half the community wants to call it Lake City. I still call it Lake City, not intentional. I just forget.
Well, the potential for that community, I think, is endless.
That's correct.
With the proximity to the interstates there, it's a beautiful community.
And the homeless problem, I think, is a little better, isn't it?
To me, when I go up there, it looks a lot better. You see less of that. You do see some businesses opening up.
Good.
I remember in the 90s, there was really nothing there.
It's easy to cheer for Lake City.
It is. It's great people. It's a great community.
Go back to Coal Creek and all the history of Lake City. It's just a wonderful
rich history
little town.
and a beautiful place. Friendly people. I think they're going to do well. I think they'll really do well.
What's going on with the closing of Dutch Valley and/or another school or whatever? What is the schools looking at with that? I mean, you got 50 people in the school, right, or something like that?
So I've not heard that being those have been rumors as far as you've heard that for years. I've not heard of anything imminent of anything like that in the next school year or anything. I mean,
I'm saying when you're trying to look to cut costs, I figure some of that stuff will come into play.
You're seeing it around us, like places like Knox County had to lay off quite a few teachers. These vouchers are definitely having some effect on attendance.
They even said that on the thing.
Yeah, so that's facts. I mean, we'll have to keep an eye on it.
Talked about that. They're down some, and I think it's an interesting situation. But you would think with the growth in the Anderson County from all these businesses and that Andersonville and Fairview, those people would drive some numbers in those schools. I mean,
sure.
I think they have in the elementary level, but I think Anderson County's done fine. I just think I don't know. I think Clinton's the one that got hit the hardest, if I remember. I think it was like, I don't remember, 60, 80 people in the system or 100 and something people. I can't remember the numbers. Mm-hmm. I mean, every school system's getting hit like that.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Well, most of the folks that I know that have gotten vouchers for their children were already in private school.
Yeah,
so
mine too.
I'm looking forward to seeing all the data on this and 3 to 5 years when they
will eventually. That's right.
Yeah, looking back on what exactly this was. I mean, it was a good effort. I think good intentions, but I'm not personally anecdotally seeing a lot of change as far as people that couldn't afford to go being able to go. But we'll see.
We got some changes. I mean, Lieutenant Governor's retiring. We've got Jimmy from North City. A little bit of differences in some of those areas. Rick Scarborough's our state representative. He's been relatively new one term. And we've got some differences. What do you think about the governor's race?
What do you think? No.
Well, I have data. That makes it a little bit easier for me. But I think it's still open.
It's been an interesting one. You and I have watched a lot of them. I still think that the nastiest one I ever saw was Diane Black and Randy Boyd. And
Maybe,
Billy.
yeah. And I'm a friend with Diane Black, and I love Randy. He's a great guy. But they spent so much money, and Bill Lee walked right between them.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. This one doesn't seem to be as bad as that one, but you are seeing some attacks kind of ramp up here at the end.
Well, if you're ahead 10 or 15, 20 points, you've got to get after the person ahead. Yeah. And Diane was ahead, and then Randy did an effective job of here's the house, here's everything. And she hit back, and by the time it was over, and they had so much money, people didn't want to see those commercials 3 times a day, 4 times a day, and they decided neither one of them will work.
It was, and this one, there's a lot of interesting storylines on this one where, we had Marcia that was out by all accounts so far ahead, and then Rose seems to be closing that gap. Then you have this guy Monty Fritz. What's he going to do? What is he going to get? 10%, 20%? Is he going to get?
I think he's going to get more than 10%.
So,
I see it around.
Some people think he'll win. I mean, it's so.
But I polled it. And, I do work everywhere. But let's take McMinn County for instance. He was polling around 20%
sure.
about 3 weeks ago. So there are counties where conservative groups exist that.
And I think Monty Fritz, one thing I can say, he has the most dedicated supporters of anyone I've ever seen. They are true believers. So
has that constitutional base. That's right.
It's been an interesting cycle. We'll see how it plays out. I think Marshall's.
Well, I think it matters for county people like yourself because governors fund things that create programs.
Absolutely.
And
you mentioned our lieutenant governor. I don't know what it's going to be like to think about state government without Randy McNally being in it.
Randy's great thing he's been able to do the last 8 or 10. There would be no Blankenship Field Park. There wouldn't be a turf. There wouldn't be all this stuff that would, and the energy's the same way. Although Fleischman's the big runner, he's the one that's done the most for everybody. But these other guys have had to help and get stuff done. I talking about Randy Boyd. I like Randy Boyd. He's a great UT president, and he's been so good to everybody. I think he's a real find in that world.
And thank goodness we didn't lose Chuck to that redistricting plan, Chuck Fleischman.
Well, they were coming down
because I like Tim Burchett a lot. He's a good man, but Chuck's just invaluable to Anderson County, really.
Well, if Marshall holds on and wins, then she'll have to appoint a person to take her place in the Senate. Yeah. And that looks to be a battle between 3 or 4 people, but it looks like, Glenn Jacobs and Tim Burchett are right in the middle of it.
It seems like it. I've heard every kind of rumor and innuendo you can imagine on that. The fact of the matter is, probably a handful of people know if that. I don't know what it'll be.
I can't speak on what I know.
I like both guys.
I do too.
I do. I think both of them would do well.
And people don't know it because of the wrestling background. Glenn Jacobs is a very intelligent guy.
Jacobs is very well read. He's very intelligent.
He is.
More of a libertarian, but very. He knows his stuff. So anybody that thinks
he's had 8 years of executive experience now.
I'm a big fan. So I think he'd do well. And Burchett is certainly got
Tim's just a nice guy like Tim. I know Tim better, but that's where I'm at. Of course, I'm Chuck's. We're best friends.
Yeah.
I talk to him every day, but it just depends. Energy's so important to us. We've got to problem. I think Tim's problem in the energy community is he's not an appropriator. They hate appropriate. And I would say the same, but if you quit appropriating and you don't have your Chuck Fleischmans, you're going to see money dry up for a lot of stuff. And we don't need that.
A lot of federal contracts that really, are vital to everything we're doing in this country.
And if anybody's read this, they're going to build a nuclear campus in this country, which should bring about $50 billion of investment. And Oak Ridge in Tennessee is one of the 5 finalists for that. I like our chances. We're going to do well.
Absolutely.
If you don't think Chuck Fleischman doesn't have a lot to do with that stuff, you don't know the business.
Come to E-Tech on Friday morning and see. You'll see.
He comes in to speak, and there's 250 people there. You can't get in.
Even when he's not there, just the amount of things. I think that we sometimes, and I don't represent, I'm county commissioner, but it's not my district, but we take it for granted when you live in Anderson County, the amazing stuff that's going on.
It looks like it's moving in your district because we got the, you've got the fusion stuff.
Yeah, Top One. Yeah,
your Top One and stuff in your area.
Absolutely, but I think we kind of all sometimes take it for granted the amazing state-of-the-art technology that's coming. World supercomputer, all these things that are housed right down the road.
And I had the 5 shows with the leaders at ORNL, and I had
you did a deep dive on that in AI and all that.
Yeah, we did, and we did the regular energy stuff. I had Don Moe on and other things, and we learned a lot. We tried to get the word out to the people on a basic level, not a scientific level. But they were all great. They all talked where we could understand it. Some of the aggressive minds, supercomputers, quantum. Just really good stuff. And I learned a lot, and that was great. And I think that's what our community needs. Let me ask a couple questions about the county I haven't kept up with.
Yeah.
Volunteer fire departments. Are we funding them? Are they getting what they need?
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. So, especially in my district, it's absolutely critical.
The it always was. They had 2, one down by the.
When we had that snowstorm in January, for example. It really hit Claxton hard. We had a really bad wreck on the Edgemore Bridge there. Part of the bridge was actually knocked out. And our chief, Dusty Sharp, he was driving down the road in the snowstorm, and a tree falls on his truck. Another second or two, it could have been a lot worse.
You know,
but I mean,
the only thing I didn't want to talk about today was trees. But
yeah, hitting a little close to home, part of the pun. Yeah, but it was.
We're doing fine.
But those guys were out. Point being, in the snow, helping people out, clearing driveways. It's critical for us. They do get a donation from the county. That's going to be taken up. I think the final amount's going to be taken up August the 10th as far as what they get.
One of their sources
of funding.
One of their sources of funding was getting at the intersection with buckets and collecting money. You want to address that?
Well, not in our case. Not the Claxton Volunteer Fire Department. They did not use that as a funding method. But we did. I was proud. One of the things that we've been able to do in the first year is clean up panhandling on Edgemore Road.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
That was a huge issue because every Saturday morning you couldn't get through Edgemore Road with these groups jumping in front of you with asking for donations. The problem was, we found it when we studied the issue, a lot of these groups didn't have any ties to Anderson County. They were from Knoxville, or there was some even as far away as Memphis, I'd heard, so with ties to other places.
Yeah, and we were helping children that don't have a home.
Well, and they weren't wearing what scared me, what really got me on it was a Saturday morning, foggy out, winter day, not wearing protective gear. Someone was going to get hurt. I mean, if I had not been paying attention, I could have hit someone. And it's like, so we were able to get that banned, and you can drive down Edgemore Road Saturday morning. It's a beautiful drive. Come out this Saturday. You're not going to have anybody jumping out in front of you asking for money. It was also a safety issue. A lot of people said, hey, I don't want my wife rolling down the window. I don't know who these people are. It just went on too long. And when we called other places, they said, we don't do that. No one else was doing
permits?
Well, that was a hodgepodge issue where the right hand wasn't watching, talking to the left hand, and it was just, we tried to find a way to do it, and at the end of it, we said, this just needs to go away before someone gets hurt. So I was proud to do that, and people seem to be enjoying their Saturday drives a little bit better.
And that's good. And I have made it a political focus, and a lot of people know that, and I work, but trying to make, like, our judiciary is much younger. And it's in the low 50s now instead of the mid 70s. We've got all this stuff going on.
About 25 years.
Yeah, and one election. But the key for me is to I want to see more women get involved, and you guys are doing a good job of that.
Hey,
they joke about
female
being
leadership.
The mean girls.
All female
that's
leadership.
Amazing, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah. I mean, Mayor Terry Frank, Chairwoman Denise Palmer, Vice Chair Shelley Vandergriff, and Parliamentarian Sabre Beauchamp. I mean, that is.
She's got a lot of experience in that, making rules.
And I've been told that that's the only version of that in the state. So Anderson County leading the way. I love it.
And you got a good group that they're smart. And then you get young people like yourself, finally turned 40, and some other things. And I knew you worked for me as an intern when you were 21. So, I mean.
What a long, strange trip it's been.
I mean, you took it all the brand officials, you got all the people that have worked. I think it's 240 interns. But, I mean, county and personally in politics. But I got 5 good ones this summer.
I think you've got your best group you ever had this summer.
I think so.
I have enjoyed getting to work with these young people, and it's exciting to see young people involved and interested in politics.
They're good kids.
I mean, it's
a lot of people in the community have seen them. Knocking on doors. They're all 6'6", 6'5".
You live in District 7. You met them 3 or 4 times.
That's the truth. We have worn it out, haven't we? Yeah. But I mean, Sabre's a treasure. We need to make sure that people that convicted and that smart stay on county commission.
I agree.
She is smart. I mean, she does.
I wish I could vote for her.
Yeah. I might be able to work something out. I'm from the old school, get you a card or something. I tell you, we got the most secure voting system in the world. I almost passed out. It took so long.
Well,
you get all that work done, and then you get a sheet with your voting record on it, and you stick it in a machine. That works because if you question a vote, they can go back and look at it.
Well, when I went to vote, it was a very, very positive experience.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone seemed to know what their job was polite, professional. I think it was a very positive experience this year. So hopefully the voters are seeing the same thing I saw.
I'm getting one more thing I want to say is I'm getting a little more involved in the Scarborough 85 thing.
Oh, yeah.
And we may need some more money. City and the county, not a lot.
Just a shout out to Aaron Wells on that one. He has done good. He has done a great job.
Sabre's done good too on that.
I mean,
this weekend we met with Charlie was in town. We got some work done, and we looked at some stuff. And I think Aaron and Sabre and others have done a good job. Of course, it's in Aaron's district.
Mr. Spratling, it has been.
I like him.
I've gotten to watch that from afar, and boy, it's going to be great for the community. And what an awesome story. And,
we're trying to amend the budget because of the money and everything, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just not for that. Let's go find the money.
Yeah.
And but you got to do it right.
Got to do it right.
Make everything money won't come if you don't do it right. How much time? Tell them, Chad, 30 seconds
30
left.
seconds. Well, I just want to use this opportunity to say hello to my grandmother, Treva McNabb, or Treva Pemberton. I wanted to say hi to her. It's not her birthday or anything, but I just wanted to say hi to her.
She's a great lady,
And,
isn't she?
she sure is.
Always
so
has
I want
been.
to do that, and thank you for having me on.
I've enjoyed it.
And,
We've done it a long time.
It's been a lot of fun.
We want to talk about the issues before we went to the election polls. I mean, a lot of people have voted.
Yeah.
And let's listen to Chandler Canada.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching Between the Lines. Next week's election night, so we won't be on, but the following week we're going to recap and look at everything that happened.